When you think of money, what comes to mind? For most people, it's the dollar. It's not just America's currency. In many ways, it's the world's. But it wasn't always this way. Just a century ago, the British pound sterling was the king of global finance. So, how did a piece of green paper from across the Atlantic take over the world? For most of modern history, Britain ruled the waves, and its currency, the pound, ruled global trade. Backed by a vast empire and, more importantly, by gold, the pound was the ultimate symbol of financial trust. But then came World War I. The conflict shattered Europe and Britain, once the world's biggest lender, found itself deep in debt. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ocean, a new giant was waking up. The United States was funding the war effort for its allies and stockpiling massive amounts of gold. By the 1920s, America was an industrial juggernaut, producing nearly half of the world's manufactured goods. The stage was set for a historic changing of the guard. Then, World War II delivered the final blow to the old world order. With Europe and Asia in ruins, the global economy needed a complete reboot. In 1944, delegates from 44 Allied nations gathered in a small town in New Hampshire called Bretton Woods. Their mission was to design a new, stable financial system. The biggest question was, what would anchor this new system? The answer was the US dollar. America made a brilliant offer. Every other major currency would peg its value to the dollar. In return, the US guaranteed that anyone could exchange their dollars for gold at a fixed rate of $35 an ounce. Why did everyone agree? Simple. America held 2/3 of the world's gold and was the only major economy left standing strong. If you wanted to rebuild, you needed dollars. The Marshall Plan then sealed the deal, pumping billions of dollars into Europe's recovery and embedding the currency into the very fabric of international business. But this golden age couldn't last forever. By the 1960s, America was spending huge sums of money on the Vietnam War, on social programs, and on the Cold War. The US was printing and spending more dollars than it had gold to back them up. Foreign governments got nervous. They started cashing in their dollars for gold, and America's reserves began to plummet. By 1971, President Nixon faced a terrible choice: trigger a painful recession to defend the dollar, or break the promise made at Bretton Woods. On August 15, 1971, he made a shocking announcement to the world. The US would no longer exchange dollars for gold. The gold window was closed. Many predicted chaos. But what happened next was remarkable. If the dollar wasn't backed by gold, what gave it value? The answer, surprisingly, came from black gold, oil. Following the oil crisis of 1973, the US struck a monumental deal with Saudi Arabia and other major oil-producing OPEC nations. America would provide them with military protection and advanced weapons. In exchange, they agreed to sell their oil exclusively in US dollars. Suddenly, any country that needed to buy oil, which was every industrial country on Earth, had to get their hands on dollars first. This petrodollar system created a permanent structural demand for the American currency. Today, the dollar's power comes from something called the network effect. It's dominant simply because it's everywhere. Around 60% of all foreign currency reserves held by central banks are in dollars. Nearly 90% of all international transactions use the dollar. Most of the world's essential commodities, oil, gold, wheat, are priced in dollars. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. Countries hold dollars because other countries hold dollars. Businesses trade in dollars because their partners do. It's the default language of money, and this gives America incredible power. When the US imposes sanctions, it can effectively cut a country off from the global financial system because it controls access to the world's primary currency. But nothing lasts forever. China is actively promoting its currency, the yuan, for international trade. Europe would like to see the euro play a bigger global role. Some are even exploring digital currencies and new financial systems. And with America's rising debt and political instability, questions about the dollar's long-term reliability are growing louder. Still, the dollar has one massive advantage: inertia. Overthrowing the world's reserve currency isn't like switching apps on your phone. It would mean rewriting the entire architecture of global finance. Every contract, every trade, and every investment. The dollar rose to the top through a mix of economic might, perfect timing, and clever strategy. It has stayed there because once everyone agrees to use the same money, it's incredibly difficult to get them to switch. Will it still be on top in another 50 years? That's the multi-trillion-dollar question. What do you think? Is the dollar's reign coming to an end, or is it just getting started? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe for more videos explaining the systems that shape our world. Thanks for watching.